In this video, we go over what makes a champion a top laner, how to be a good top laner, and how you, as a top laner, can convert your early game into mid and late game victories. So, what makes a champion a top laner? Top lane is the most dangerous lane in the game. You're in a long lane and you don't have a support to help you out. So, the champions that work well are tanks who are able to survive walking away from ganks, bruisers who can trade even in 1v2s, and a handful of picks that can bully both bruisers and tanks. In addition to choosing a tank, bruiser, or bully, you also need to decide if you want to be a team fighter or split pusher. This won't have much of an impact on your laning phase, but will change your mid and late game quite a lot. During the laning phase, there are two key aspects to focus on. Firstly, wave control. Being able to control and manage your waves gives you a huge advantage, and there are three methods on how to control your waves. Firstly, we have the very simple hard pushing. This is generally the worst one as it doesn't give you time to do anything, but it can be helpful if you just need to get out of lane. Secondly, there's freezing your wave. This is where your opponent has more minions than you do, and you hold them near your tower, just last hitting and not letting them crash. This is a great way to deny farm, as it's dangerous for your opponent to walk that far up the lane, and also a great way just to farm safely. However, the best general option is slow pushing. This is pretty similar to hard pushing, but you simply just push the wave slower. This allows you to build up a large wave of minions to push into your opponent's tower. This is very strong as your opponent won't want to fight you in a large wave, and multiple waves crashing into the tower gives you a larger window to roam or get a free back. If you want to go over wave management in more detail, I've put a link to my 3-minute video on it in the description down below. The second key mechanic of being a top laner is trading. This is understanding that most fights, both sides lose health and both sides deal damage, and a good trade is where you come out with a health advantage. To know whether or not to go for a trade, you need to consider your attack range, spells, cooldowns, minions, and if their spells will hit through minions. This of course will change a huge amount depending on each matchup and each scenario, but a great window to look out for is if your opponent ever uses an ability on minions, go for the fight as you have more abilities available than they do. Also, if your opponent has far less health than you, even trades where they'll deal more damage to you can be good if you're putting them within kill range. When it comes to warding, if you're on the red side, control warding Tri-Brush and warding River Brush is pretty solid. As blue side, control warding your jungle entrance is a good defensive choice. Control warding River Brush is a good offensive choice, and always try to get a ward in their Tri-Brush to keep yourself safe. Entering the mid game and leaving laning phase, you now enter your role as a team fighter or split pusher. If you're playing a champion who wants to team fight, this is the time to take your tower and then group mid. One of the most important objectives of the game is mid outer tower, so if it's not already down, this should be your main focus to open up a huge amount of the map to you. At this point as well, you want to be contesting all neutral objectives. The easiest way to get an objective is to get a pick and then take it for free. You'll find throughout the mid and late game you'll end up going to your side wave to push it out before grouping back with your team for the objective. As a split pusher, you'll want to have teleport as your summoner spell and then push the lane opposite to the main objective. For example, if Baron is up, you want to push the bot side. This puts a ton of pressure on your opponent, where if no one responds, you get a free objective. If one person responds, you can easily hold your own, and if multiple people respond, you get the objective. And of course, if your team does get engaged on, you can always teleport into the fight, making it 5v5 again. Forming good habits with wave management and knowing when to trade and when to play passively is key to winning the early game. From here, as a team fight, you're looking to group with your team and win team fights to get you the important objectives. And as a split pusher, you're looking to put pressure on the map to get easy fights and easy objectives for your team.